So, in 2004, Paul W.S. Anderson unleashed Alien vs. Predator upon the world, and upon its reception, it was met with the typical, well-reasoned and very classy response. "Suck my dick, Anderson, you fucking asshole! You ruined that franchise, you piece of shit!" Or something along those lines. But as easy as it is to shit on Paul W.S. Anderson, I don't feel that Alien vs. Predator is as bad as most people would contend it to be. Now keep in mind that I am not a fan of this movie, and I do feel that Anderson completely forewent any sort of reading or research on either the Alien or the Predator. So allow me to indulge you with my opinion of this movie. When I saw it, I remember coming out of the cinema and I distinctly recall thinking, that wasn't so bad. But upon thinking about it in retrospect and keeping in mind all the stuff I had seen, as well as the previous Alien vs. Predator lore that has been established, Alien vs. Predator is that in name only. It's not a continuation or a sequel, as it were. Now, I'm not that well versed in the Alien vs. Predator franchise, but I do have a pretty decent cursory knowledge, and I gotta say, I do admire the character of Machiko, who basically becomes an official inductee into the Predator fraternity, but that's another different story altogether. So, Alien vs. Predator stars Sana Lathan, Raoul Bova, Ewan Brenner, and Lance Henriksen. And here's the thing. Although this film isn't truly terrible, it doesn't have any sense of consistency. So let me give you a rundown of the various inconsistencies that this movie has, because it's got quite a few of them, and you may call me a nitpicker, but I feel that these are legitimate points in regards to the whole of the movie. So first thing is first, the alien life cycle has been distinctly truncated, because a female mercenary character finds herself being attacked by a facehugger, and it's literally a minute of screen time before the chestburster erupts out of her. Now, I've counted. You have her being attacked and succumbing to the facehugger, then it switches to another scene involving Sana Lathan and a couple of other characters, and then it switches back to the unfortunate victim of the facehugger, and it is literally about 60 seconds. Now, even if you're not a huge fan of the Alien franchise, you will know for a fact that a facehugger embryo takes more than a minute to gestate. Now, you may be thinking, well, maybe this is a different type of facehugger, maybe this is a super facehugger. Well, that could have very well been the case, but here's the thing, the movie does not establish any of these details. It doesn't give any indication that this facehugger is different from any other. Even a facehugger carrying a queen embryo, which takes longer to gestate inside of a human body, by the way, there's nothing else particularly definite about it. Maybe it's a little bigger, but this movie is bound to make you go into a tailspin, especially if you are very well versed in the franchise. Another thing, it was established without a shadow of a doubt that the xenomorph had never been on Earth. It has never had human contact at all. It has strictly been an intergalactic species. It has never touched Earth. It has never had anything to do with humans or the Earth in particular. But in this movie, you have dormant aliens under the ice of the Antarctic. Now, you could very well be saying, well, no wonder, no one's found it. But here's the thing, Weyland-Yutani they have been on this planet for quite some time, and they have all the funds and all the money to do it. And that's how this movie comes about. You have Weyland-Yutani approach various characters to get them to go on this expedition. So they're saying that this is the first time they have come into contact with the xenomorph. So what about everything that Ripley did in Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3? All that is mute now. There is whatever effort she made in order to contain the xenomorph menace to make sure it never comes to Earth and spread its terror, it's rendered pointless in this movie. If the xenomorphs had been here all this time, why did Weyland-Yutani get a mining vessel to answer a distress call, knowing full well that there'd be some sort of, alien subject of interest on this planet in the derelict? It's just, oh. Another thing, this may descend into more nitpicky territory, but here's the thing: I've never thought that unless a human truly proves themselves to be formidable, that a predator would team up with a human. And in this movie, it does. Simon Lathan plays a geologist, I think. I completely forget. Well, she's a scientist of some sort. She's very familiar with, trekking through very dangerous places, and she has considerable expertise in that area. But when she meets up with a predator, the predator doesn't attack her. It doesn't, try to test her will. What it does is that it makes her some armor and some weapons out of a xenomorph corpse. And I'm thinking, watching this, what did this woman do to earn this predator's respect? You could probably argue that it was an alliance forged out of urgency, because, that this temple that this film takes place in, it's just littered with xenomorphs everywhere. So maybe it was an alliance made out of when all else fails, basically. But the way the film portrays it, it's like watching a Batman cartoon, Batman and Robin from the 1960s or something like that. I was half expecting when they were running to the next battle that they'd play the Batman, they na-na-na-na-na-na-na Batman or something like that. It's ridiculous. Predators do not team up with humans unless they prove themselves to, be worth their while. I mean, stupid. And, oh, that's another thing. Oh, God. Towards the end of the movie, before Lex and her predator friend meet up with the alien queen, they share this moment, and I swear to God, it is distinctly intended to be pseudo-romantic. And the way the predator is looking at her and the way she's looking at it, it's like, oh my God, they're going to kiss, aren't they? Please don't, please don't, please don't. It just completely defies everything about the predator. These things are intergalactic serial killers. They hunt you down, they take trophies. They take trophies from your body. Alright, they're not going to forge a romantic relationship with some chick who makes starry eyes at them. It's dumb. Maybe a lesser point here. I found that even though the xenomorphs didn't look too bad, I'm fully willing to admit that, the predators in this movie really got the short end of the stick. When you compare what the predators look like in this movie to what Stan Winston did to the predator in the first film, the first predator in the first movie had a look that it has been around, that it is alive and organic, it's seen action. In this movie, predators have a nice sort of clear face and big clear eyes, and there's no wear and tear on their bodies. Alright? This is meant to be a warrior race. Even if these predators are like fresh warriors, they would have, undergone some sort of training or something before they, were released onto the planet to do what they do. Oh, but like I said, I really don't like this movie for all these things. But look, it is so easy to just tear this film apart and leave no quarter. But there are a couple of nice features about this movie. Say what you will about Anderson as a director, he knows how to make things look nice. Even if it's the most trashy thing on the planet, he still finds a way to frame it and film it in a particular way that doesn't make it look too bad. Think of it as, you know, he takes trash and makes it into one of those, you know, twee accessories that you find in one of those places like Equip or Diva or something like that. I mean, these glasses here, I got these from Diva. Alright, so this is pretty much what a Paul Anderson movie looks like. It looks nice, but doesn't have any sort of practical purpose, well, other than like to shield my eyes from the sun. But you get my meaning. He's able to make something silly look halfway decent. That's what I'm trying to say. And truth be told, the Xenomorphs do look fine in this movie. Do they look as magnificent and marvellous as they did in the other movies? No. But considering the sequel that would come, Alien vs Predator Requiem, it's not a bad approach, in all honesty. And also, the very first fight between an alien and a predator, that was good. Because it shows both species utilising what has been given to them. Like, the predator uses its weapons to maximum effect. The xenomorph is a living, breathing weapon, and it uses every ounce of its body to dominate the predator. And it is rather well choreographed, I've got to say. Another really cool thing is that even though there is a lot of CGI in this movie, I mean, CGI face huggers, there's still some room for practical effects in this movie, and they are used to satisfying effect. When you get a close-up of a xenomorph, for example, it does look impressive because it is there, it is an animatronic, it's some sort of puppet. But like I said before, the Predators really got the short end of the stick here. They just look too clean, too sanitary. There's no sense of power behind what they look like. And that's probably also because the actors in the Predator suits don't have the grace and the agility and the domineering attitude that Kevin Peter Hall had as the Predator. And look, I understand that. Kevin Peter Hall, you know, unfortunately passed away. So the best these folks could do was, you know, try to, you know, have a sense of urgency in their performance, but it still feels flat. But that's not strictly their fault. You can only do so much wearing those really heavy and cumbersome type of suits. So at the end of the day, oh, that's another thing. Lance Henriksen plays Charles Bishop Weyland in this movie, the very same role that he played in Alien 3. So Alien 3 was like way in the future, and Alien vs Predator was back in 2004. So either Charles Bishop Weyland has always been an android, or he's like Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas. He's been sleeping in some sort of cryostasis coffin that's been keeping him young, or something like that. It's dumb. This whole movie is so dumb. But if I were to compare it to Alien vs Predator Requiem, this one is a masterpiece compared to that, because Alien vs Predator Requiem. We'll get to that in the next video. So I give Alien vs Predator a 2.5 out of 5. You could do a lot worse, but there are so many glaring errors in this movie, and you can try to ignore them. But the Predator and Alien franchise has been so embedded in the public consciousness that it is so difficult to get rid of them. And that really does work to the film's detriment. And the fact it has really boring characters, but then again, this is a Paul W.S. Anderson movie, so what did you expect? Okay guys, thank you so much for listening, and as usual, take care of yourselves and each other.